Welcome to the Self-Care Show with Deidre Sanford. Although holistic and alternative healing methods are becoming more and more mainstream, what method is right for you? How do you find a practitioner once you've chosen to explore an alternative therapy? Each week, Deidre will explore a different modality with practitioners who will explain their modality and the benefits they and their clients have received through their sessions. She and her guests may also offer live readings during the show. Now, your host of the Self-Care Show, Deidre Sanford.
Hello, good morning. Obviously, I am not Deidre Sanford. I am Lori B, and I'm filling in for her today. She's got she's gone to visit some family down in Louisiana. So today, what we're going to do is just pull some cards for anybody that wants to have a card pulled, and we'll go from there. Let's see. Good morning, Courtney. How are you today? And of course, I've never done a live show before on my own. Hi, Dorothy. So just bear with me. Courtney, did you want me to pull a card for you, or did you have a question that you wanted to have answered today? And yes, my morning's starting off okay. Okay, you'll take a card and let's see which card. Okay, I'm going to use, Courtney, for you, I'm going to use the Sword of Light Oracle card. And that's by Raeleigh Valentine. Hang on just a second. See what we can get for you. Okay. Okay, Courtney. So your let me see. Your card says, "Don't give up on love. A relationship you cherish can be healed. Allow yourself to clear the way for forgiveness so that love can thrive again." So if you're having any type of issues, and it doesn't have to just be a romantic love, it can, be any type of relationship. If there's any type of issues, I would say you have to look deep within and go with the forgiveness, and that relationship's going to be healed. Hopefully you can relate to that. Yes, including self-love even. Self-love can be a hard one for us sometimes. So I hope that helps you. And Dorothy, you wanted a card. I'm going to use the same deck with you. Let me see. Okay, so Dorothy, two cards just popped out for you. One that says you will manifest what you need. And then the second one is your vibration is rising. I don't know if you're in the spiritual realm, but if you are, you're definitely elevating. The manifesting, it says express gratitude and trust what the angels are bringing you. So a lot of this is going to be, even with your vibration, you've got to learn to trust more. If there's any type of issues you're having with trust, as you're elevating, it's going to, as you're trusting more, your elevation is going to go higher. So all I can say is just get ready for whatever is coming your way, because it's going to be good. But manifest. Start your manifesting if you're not already, because it's headed for you. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And Mike, who did I just do? think that was Dorothy. Okay, Tina, you're wanting career or general? All right, and for you, I'm pulling out the Lisa Williams deck. And I've got one card out, but I'm going to pull another one too. I just don't need that. There's going to be another one. But this first card is communication. You need to take action. You need to open up the lines of communication for someone. Oh, wow. Okay, we've just got two more. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go with career is going to be communication. That's what I'm feeling for that. If you know, and this card says talking, taking action, listening, and opinionated. So my feeling on this is, if there's something going on in your career, you need to be proactive, not wait for somebody to come to you. You need to go to them if you have an idea, or if you're trying to move forward, take that action, pay attention to what's being said. And then I also got the home card and the dream card. And the dream card is like connecting with self and spirit, believe in the power of your dreams, guidance and direction. And then your home card is feeling safe, togetherness, time to unwind. So I'm going to say with these two cards, you're going to need to pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to the messages that you're getting. Because you're getting a lot of messages in your dreams, and you just have to trust in them. You just have to trust in them. But career-wise, you know, you be proactive. You be proactive. Hello, Casey, Aspen. Okay, so Casey, you want a card. Let's see. Casey, I'm actually going to use the Angel Wisdom Tarot cards for you. You're welcome, Tina. Okay. All right. Okay, Casey, I got the Hermit card for you. So what that's telling me is you need to start spending some time alone. You need to be meditating. You need to be looking inside you. Hang on a second. I feel like there's a lot of internal stuff going on with you right now. And what I'm hearing is, if you just step back, take the time to go into yourself, talk to your guides, you're going to get the guidance that you're looking for. I feel like there might be some turmoil going on. I don't know if it's within yourself or with others, but you need to take a step back. And this is where your self-care is going to come in. You know, take the time for you. Take the time to just chill out, relax, do your salt baths, do your meditation. And I'm hearing take a lot of walks. Take a lot of walks. You're going to get the guidance that you're looking for. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Okay, Mike, who's next? Okay, Aspen, regarding your dad's legal situation. Okay. You're welcome, Casey. And you're welcome, Tina. Okay, Aspen. Okay, your dad's legal situation. Okay, and I'm using the tarot cards for this one. Dad's legal situation. I kind of feel like it's a mess. Seeing what else I can get. All right. Okay, and I got the Queen of Air on this one. And it's saying releasing situations or people that no longer serve you. So I'm not sure what his legal situation is, but he might need to be looking at seeking out different counsel if that's what's necessary. But I feel like right now it's a pretty big mess for him, or it's going to become messy. But other than that, I'm not really hearing or seeing anything. Just he's going to need to he's going to need to seek out more help. That's all I'm getting. I'm sorry. Okay, Mike, ready for the next one? Is there a next one? Okay. All right. So let's see. So, Mike, you want to pop in and we'll talk about your experiences and what's been going on with you lately? We can share our stories of how spirit has come to us. I was liking your thanks for coming in. No, I was liking your story about before we came on about how, the other day you saw something black out of the side of your eye. And it reminded me of one of the first times that spirit came to me. I was actually in my laundry room changing out my laundry. And, I see something and I'm like the biggest chicken alive. So it's like when you see it, you're like, okay, well, wait a minute, there's nobody there. And then you're looking down the hall going, is somebody in the house?
We, here in my house, we have that a lot. I'm on this station a lot, and a lot of people know, I do collect haunted items, and I have dolls and all sorts of things. But lately, I've kind of been coming out, about my view change on spirituality and religion, all sorts of things. And I believe it was DeEtte, when we had our show a couple weeks ago, she was talking about how the changes she did a reading for me, and the changes that I've been going through and what I've been dealing with lately is on the verge of, being in 5D consciousness. Hello, Courtney and Casey. Oh, you see Emily back there. Yeah. I'm going to have to do some research on that last name, Sophia. I'd like to, know where that kind of came from, if you could fill me in, Casey. And if you like, I could tell you guys a story about her. I'm just kind of filling in a little bit for Deidre and with Lori here. But so yesterday, I know we were talking behind stage before the show about a couple things that happened to me yesterday. I was cleaning my area. It's where my items and my objects are is adjacent to where I do like home stuff. So if I got to repair something, fix something, build something, it's in the same room. So I got dust everywhere. But when I clean my area, it seems like that's the one time the energy
it's moving.
Picks up. It picks up because they know that I care about them. I'm taking care of them. And if you see my area, I wish I could take my computer out there and show you guys. but it's set up as a normal living space. It's got chairs out there, tables. It's set up for them to be comfortable and have their own room. And so I'm out there, I'm dusting off this table, and I'm crouched on my feet, dusting this table, moving everything off of it. And my daughter and I were the only ones home. So I know it wasn't her, because just the feeling and the reaction I got. Out of the corner of my eye, I just see this figure just walk and stop next to this chair I have. And it was black. I couldn't really see it. My first instinct was, okay, my daughter just walked in. And I turn around, and it wasn't, like the feeling, the energy, the emotion, I jumped. And I normally don't get like that out here. And it was something else. I'll tell you what.
I think they enjoy it when they scare us or catch us off guard.
Oh yeah. You were talking a little bit ago about how you're a big scaredy cat. So truth be told, I am a paranormal investigator that is afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
I do not like being in the dark.
I sleep with the light on.
I used to have music. I used to have light or something, but now I'm to the point where ever since I started letting things go and doing life coaching and opening myself up a little bit more, I actually pass out. I don't have trouble sleeping anymore. I don't lay awake waiting to fall asleep, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, see, I don't have trouble falling asleep, but spirit likes to wake me up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm hearing.
Gone.
And see, I'm rebellious. You can ask DeEtte. She was my teacher. I am rebellious. I fight it every step of the way, no matter what is going on. So they wake me up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm hearing, you need to meditate. And I'm just like, I don't want to meditate. So I'll flip on the TV, or I'll pick up my phone and scroll through Facebook. And then I'll go back to sleep for a little while, and then I get woke up at 4 o'clock. You need to meditate. I don't want to meditate. So it's this constant battle with me and spirit every single morning. And I'm just like, can you just let me sleep all night, one night? But no, they don't like to do that. So
no.
But yeah, it's
Don here.
I think it was Deidre I was telling yesterday. I'm the as far as the spirit world goes, I'm the rebellious teen. I know it's there, and I know what I'm supposed to do, but I have to make my life difficult, and I have to fight it. And
Oh, absolutely. Don here, I put this comment up because he actually he lives right around the corner from me. He's been here numerous times, and he knows what this area can do. And yeah.
As soon as you said, you have chairs and stuff, it's a normal living space. I'm like, yeah, you have chairs for the spirits to sit down in. That was my first thought.
Well, a lot of the items that I have actually came from a haunted location that is no longer open for investigations. It's no longer available to do anything with. When the previous people that were running it and the investors wanted to sell it, I went to school with the kid whose parents were running it. And he was like, yeah, we lose everything today. They want to sell. You're more than welcome. I went in, did a full investigation by myself. And he goes, put whatever you want in your truck. He goes, if you want to take anything, please fill it up. Because it was going through a court battle. They wanted to keep it. The investors were getting rid of them. So that it had to go to court. And the agreement that was made with them was if they were able to get the location back, I would give them all the items back. That was the agreement. This was 3 years ago. And they never got the location back. So everything here pretty much just became mine.
So, well, tell me this. How does a scaredy cat get into the paranormal? I mean, that would seem like so insane.
It's not, I'm not necessarily scared of the spirits. I'm more afraid of not being able to see. Like I can't, you don't know what's coming. you're just in the dark. And I think that's just what gets me. And I think a lot of that also does stem from childhood and the way I was treated and raised.
Right.
But what got me really into paranormal wasn't anything dark. It wasn't scary. It was actually a dream or an astral projection that I had. That is really what started pushing me into it. And then I really didn't get fully into it until, I was 21. I don't think I fully got into it till I was I was 20 when I had that dream or that projection. I didn't get into it till about, it was years later.
Yeah.
Around the time I just started watching Ghost Adventures. I was like, okay, so this is a real thing. I actually want to start doing this. And that's really what kicked it off for me, was watching the TV shows.
Well, see, even those TV shows, my daughter would have me, she was a big, ghost hunters and all those different shows. And they would literally scare the heck out of me, because I just got into this a few years ago after my husband died. And I had told him before he passed, when we would be talking, I'm like, you better send me signs. And so immediately within a couple of hours, a picture on our wall turned sideways. And it was like, okay, and then the next day, while everybody's at the house, our microwave's going off, and I wound up unplugging in the microwave and it still went off. It's like, okay, we know you're here. Stop. Because now you're freaking the kids out. But how I ran into it was, I started medium hopping. And one of the mediums at one point, it was probably my third or fourth time with her. She's like, why do you keep coming back? You can do this. And I'm like, no, I can't. I wouldn't know the first thing about it. How does a normal person, okay, what's normal? But how does a normal person do this? And she's like, Lori, you got to find a teacher. And I found DeEtte. And I remember I was looking on her page, and she had started a beginner's, and I'm just tipping my toes in. I send her an email or a message, one of the two. When is your next class? So this woman says, can I call you? Okay. Big mistake. It was a big mistake. That was my life changer. So she calls me and she's like, tell me your story. So I tell her my story. Now she's 3 weeks into beginner's class. And she says, well, Spirit told me you're capable. I'm sending you the homework that you've missed for the last 2 weeks. You're starting this Wednesday. And I'm just like, I was just checking it out. I wasn't serious, but I did it and I started it. And now so much makes sense, because like as a kid, I would wake up terrified, of course, because I would see figures in my room, and I'd wake up the house screaming in terror because I didn't know what they were. When my brother passed, I was in my 20s. I remember one night I was laying on the couch crying, and all I felt was a slap across the face saying, get your butt up and go to bed. Stop crying over me. Needless to say, I flew back to my bedroom, but I never put all these pieces together, because whoever thinks I'm a medium, unless
Right.
You've grown up in a family that practices this, why would you ever think you could be a medium? I thought I was just going crazy at times, and then the intuition, that's just your mother's intuition. You don't think about it. So to actually find out many, many years later, it's like, this is insane. Yeah.
I absolutely. I would agree. I grew up, my stepdad, his favorite show was Crossing Over with John Edwards. And he was a medium, psychic, intuitive. And, I didn't believe a lot of it at the time.
Right.
I didn't believe it. And there was one time I was actually dating this girl. And to this day, I want to say she has psychic abilities or mediumship abilities. It's highly intuitive, because it's really weird. At the time, I was working for a Christian music company, and I was a Christian at the time. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in Christianity, they
Frown
shove it
on
down
this.
your throat that
Yeah,
ghosts
this is
that
evil.
aren't supposed to walk the world until Christ rises again. Everything's evil. So this girl. I don't even think we had started dating yet. She came over to my house, and I was living with my mom at the time. It was not long after my dad had passed away. I had moved back in to kind of help her with some things, take care of the house. But she comes over for the first time. She didn't know anything about my family. She knew my dad had passed away. When you walked into my mom's house, there were no pictures. There were no family photos in the family room. It was all just, you know, video game stuff, a place to hang out and relax, no family photos. In my room, you didn't even walk to the house to get to. It was just down the basement steps. So she knew nothing about my past. She knew nothing about anybody or anything. As she goes to leave, she looks at me and she goes, I just thought I would let you know that there's a little old lady in your basement doing her laundry.
Oh my gosh.
She goes, there's another guy here. She goes, I can't pinpoint, but the only thing I can tell you about him is he wore flannel shirts and had this very special jean jacket. And then as she's walking out the door, she goes, ask your mom if somebody touches her tonight. And I'm like, okay, that's really weird. So the next morning, I asked my mom if she felt somebody touch her, and she said yes. And this was not long after my dad passed away.
Uh-huh.
And the flannel in the jean jacket was really weird because in the washer was my dad's old jean jacket.
Wow.
My mom gave it to my brother when he passed away. And the guy that my dad got it from was my dad's best friend growing up. And I was very close to him myself. He was one of those, he knew the life that I had and the way I was raised, and he didn't stand for it. He got mad at my parents to the point he actually stopped talking to them. And he was just that one mentor growing up, even though he was an alcoholic. He was in Vietnam, you know, he was an old man. He supported everything I wanted to do. I wanted to play music. I wanted to do things. And he was the only person in my life that said, go do it.
Right.
So it was really weird that she picked up on all that. And that was, at the time, again, we're told to believe that it's evil. And I never really, and then I started getting more and more into the paranormal field itself. You know, when I got into it, I thought it was cool to capture EVPs and go to locations. But it's opened me up to a lot more intuitive psychics, mediums, and even being behind scenes here, it's opened me up a lot more. And I think that I've heard a lot of hosts and even guests and comments say, you know, just me being back here has opened my intuitive abilities a lot more.
Oh yeah. That's what I was telling you before we came on is, you know, you got stuff coming. So just get ready for the ride. I mean, you know, at least you already have a lot, you know, under your belt, but you know,
it keeps me busy. I mean,
this gets crazy. This gets crazy. And I really feel like you're really fixing it. Oh, wow. What's the word I want to use? It's coming at you. It's coming at you. So, you know,
I think a lot of it has to do, not just me, but I think a lot of people in the world. I think when it comes down to,
the world is changing so much. Everybody's opening up.
I think it gets down to a point where when you actually start, you know, like I think I was telling you this in the back, you know, as a coach, I think when you start actually letting a lot of things go and you actually start living that life path that you're meant to do, I think everything just kind of starts falling into place. We all start opening up to that intuitive ability, and you know, the 5D consciousness itself, it's there for everybody. Everybody has the ability to get there. I think it comes down to paying attention to what's going on in the media, paying attention to what's going on in entertainment. And I mean, I'm not a big political person, but truthfully, I believe politics and the government has gotten way too religious. Not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying that they're adding the two way too much, to a point that we are not actually there. We're being blinded.
Yeah, I agree.
And this is coming from somebody that spent over 20 years as an atheist.
She is so cute.
Were you back here? I didn't even see her.
Yeah, she's jumping behind you.
What are you doing, goofball?
She's like, I want to do this too.
Nobody gets tired of seeing you, huh?
Courtney, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think a lot of the I don't know, politicians will, I mean, I think as many people are opening up on this realm, I think it scares the heck out of the politicians and the other world leaders. They don't want everybody opening up. They don't want everybody being able to access what's going on.
I
agree with you.
I would agree with that, you know, especially when you do your research, you know. I've always been big into conspiracies. It's so hard to disprove when, you know, everything's right there in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Down to, you know, if you really want to get into conspiracies, I'm not going to get into too much about them, but I will say, Google search, what is it? Here, give me that. Thanks, baby. Google search the address 124 North Conch Street. I know a lot of people, I mean, unless you have kids, you don't know what that is in reference to. I'll just put it this way. That is SpongeBob SquarePants' home address on the TV show SpongeBob.
Yeah, I hate that show.
If you Google search that address, it takes you to Epstein Island.
Oh my God, are you serious? That just gave me the chills so bad.
Takes you to Epstein Island.
Wow.
What?
That's unreal.
Give me a little bit, okay? I mean, I could go on about a lot of this, and you know, it's sad, you know, and somebody said it that the way Satanists work is they believe that if you tell somebody something, like I used this example not long ago, I think I was on a show. So for instance, if I'm selling you apples and I put apples for sale and they're poisonous, I committed murder. But if I put apples for sale, caution, they're poisonous, and you buy it and eat it, you committed suicide.
Correct.
So Satanists, they believe if they put it right there in front of your face, there's no karmic retribution, because they're just flat out saying, this is what I'm doing, whether you like it or not. And I believe that is exactly what is going on.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion.
And Don, it was 124 Conch Street. He asked what the address was again.
I want to say that's the address.
I've never liked SpongeBob. Now I know why. Now I know why.
I mean, then of course you get on and they'll tell you that address isn't real. It also comes down to what can we actually believe on the internet anymore, you know?
Right.
You can Google search that address.
Over that too. It's like,
right. You could Google search that address and they'll tell you, oh, it was fake. It was a hoax. It's not real. It's not true. But it all comes down to really what it is you want to know.
Mm-hmm. And Courtney, I don't think they tell us any truth, honestly. Well, this show took a turn.
I think honestly, if you want my opinion, it sucks that a lot of it's censored. A lot of it, we get put down for.
Mhm.
But I think I lost my train of thought on what I was going to say.
Well, what I was thinking as you were talking is, I think that, and I'm probably going to lose my train of thought. And I don't know I know what I'm going to say, but I don't know if it's going to make any sense. But I feel like with COVID happening the way it did and everything going online, that's what helped open so many people up. Because I know that's what helped me, was being able to access stuff through Zoom and online,
Courtney's right. Everybody's afraid of the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And yeah, I can't talk about how I feel about certain things.
Yeah.
I don't want another show to get taken down.
Yeah.
See, that's what's sad is we can't even talk about our opinions anymore.
Right.
Like,
because our opinions are lethal.
Right. There's no such thing as free speech anymore.
Nope. This is funny. As you were saying that, I was shuffling my cards and this came up, and it says, "Be the real you. Your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self."
Right.
Is that not just perfect for this conversation?
And it's sad, didn't they? Oh, never mind. I'm not going to get into it. I was just going to say, didn't they start coming out saying that this whole pandemic wasn't even real?
This pandemic was planned, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't get our show taken down. She's going to come back. What did you guys do to my show? It was just supposed to be a reading show and it turned into political.
We got 2 here if you want to do readings for these 2.
Let me see. The starred one's
still here.
Okay. Salone Nelson. Okay. She wants a general. All right. So let's see. I'll go to Lisa's deck for this. Hopefully you're still here. Okay. Salone one that just immediately flipped over is question. It says you're searching for answer and trust that your answers will come. So whatever it is you're searching for, I'm going to say you need to meditate and listen to your guides, and they're going to give you those answers. And sometimes we don't like the answers we get, and we want to go, "Oh, that wasn't real." I know for me, if they give me an answer to something, such as like when Deidre and I were discussing me hosting the show, and I'm like, "I've never done it. I won't know what I'm doing." I wanted to say no. But, they kept coming. You might not like the answer you get. It might make you uncomfortable, but just listen and trust that they're leading you the right way.
I'll throw a little bit of life coaching advice in there. Everything that is uncomfortable is where you're meant to be.
So I guess I'm meant to be here today.
Why not? That's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got another one here.
Okay, so Stephanie, you want a tarot card. Okay, so Stephanie, on this one, I'm going to use Raeleigh Valentine's Angel Wisdom Tarot. This is one of my absolutely favorite decks. And let's see what we've got for you. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So we got the 2 of air and the 5 of air. And one says that you're unable or unwilling to make a decision. So you need to listen to your heart. Listen to what you're hearing. Don't just brush it off. The 5 of air says that there's a better way for you to be happy. Avoid people who are going to bring you down, or the card says avoid people who lack integrity or who have questionable motives. So I feel like maybe there might be some people in your circle that may not have your best interest at heart. So just be careful. And as hard as it might be, you might have to at some point make a choice on who you allow in. But whatever decision you're needing to make and you're not wanting to, listen to your heart. That's the best advice the cards are giving you. Listen to your heart. Okay.
Well, I asked Don if he wanted a reading, and he hasn't responded to my message yet.
Okay.
I know he's at work, so I'm just gonna throw him on the spot anyways.
Okay.
He's been going through a lot. I know he could use one. I've been slightly coaching him a little bit. So
okay, then for Dawn, I'm going to go to the Raeleigh Valentine Sword of Light cards. I like these cards a lot. They're oracle, they're not tarot, but they help me a lot. So let's see what we can get for Dawn. And I feel really nervous when I'm doing this for him. I feel like he's got a lot of nervous energy going on.
Ow.
Okay, Don, here's your card. It says change is coming. It says they're here to guide you through your exciting transformation, and there's a time for joyous opportunities. So whatever it is that you're going through, you just need to embrace the change that's coming, because it is coming. And I feel like it's going to be a pretty big change for you. I don't know who you are or anything about your situation, but I do feel like I have to agree with the card. I feel a nervousness within you, like you're maybe afraid of the change or to make the change, but it's going to be good for you to do that. Your go, Mike, if you want to. You there?
My microphone moved. What's up?
I was just telling Don he's got some pretty big changes coming up, but I feel a lot of nervous energy within him, and he just needs to embrace it and look forward to it and know that it's for the best.
Yep. See, Don? I told you.
Were you telling him the same thing?
He comes over and we'll hang out. I think the last time he was over here, oh man, what time did you leave, Don? Like 2 a.m? We'll have like 4-hour conversations on life and just talk.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay. All right. So Diana, okay, I'm going to use these same cards for you, Diana. Again, they're the Sword of Light Oracle cards by Raeleigh Valentine. Okay, for you, Diana, I get stay the course. Hard to do. And its card says, don't panic. You're not on the wrong path. You just having a bumpy start. Learn from your experiences and keep going. And I kind of feel like a heaviness with you, like you're going the right way, but maybe you're hesitant about it. And I feel like you're holding yourself back from something, whatever it is. But you need to just, again, here comes this word that I am not a fan of, but it's true. You got to learn to trust your instincts, trust what your guides are telling you. And again, I'm going to go with do a lot of self-care. Do your salt baths. Take your walks out in nature. Get outdoors. Breathe that fresh air. And I'm hearing clean up your diet. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. But just stay the path and don't be scared of it. Whatever's coming your way, don't be scared of it. Hopefully that makes sense to you. And then Sherry. Okay. You want a general reading? I'm going to go to the Lisa Williams cards for this one. Oh, got a flyer. Okay, Sherry, I got autumn for you. Whatever you're waiting on or whatever change is coming, I feel like autumn. So let's say 6 months. Yeah, April, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, that'd be September. So that would be autumn. I feel like there's going to be something pretty monumental coming in. I'm going to say September, October. I'm leaning more towards October. And I feel like it's going to be a personal change, not necessarily a career change, but it's going to be something within your personal life, family wise. But there's going to be it's going to be like a fresh start. I want to say. Hopefully that makes sense. The card itself says, bear wind, Christmas, and stripping away. So that's where I feel like, with the stripping away, I feel like there's going to be a fresh start. Something new is going to be happening in the autumn for you. You're going to let go of something, but something else is going to start anew for you. So again, hopefully that makes sense to you. So just hang on. Just hold on and look forward to autumn. Yeah. I'm glad that made sense to you, Diana. Hi, Lisa. You're welcome, Sherry. So do you have any good big ghost hunts coming up, Mike?
As of right now, no. I don't think I have really anything coming up. I'm just working behind the scenes and, just grinding away on Paraflix, doing designs. I am actually working on something that I am not. It's not that I can't talk about. It's just that I'm not going to. It was an idea I've been sitting on for a couple of years now.
Would it be a book by chance?
Finally going to do it. No, I wanted to do a book.
Your book.
I have been contemplating it, but my thing is my mind is so all over the place. It's organization. It's getting the details. There's just a lot. But I've been getting a little bit more comfortable. If you'd have seen me the way I used to podcast when I had my old shows, like I was very reserved. I was quiet. I didn't talk. But now I'm starting to open up more. I'm actually starting to speak better, talk better. And I've been looking into wanting to become a speaker, like a motivational speaker or, a life speaker or something.
And as you say that, it's funny because as you say that, I see you on a stage with a lot of people in front of you. So I did doing this in person.
I've never been a fan of being in front of crowds. And again,
I can relate, but whether you're a fan of it or not,
I'm a walking contradiction. I hate being in large crowds, but I love being the center of attention. I hate being on stages, but I was a musician for 15 years. So I don't get it. I just don't. So, but again, that's one of those things where you sit back and you go, maybe that's just the path I was meant to take. Maybe that's just, past lives coming out.
Right. Right.
That was me once. And it's just not what I'm really meant to do in this life.
Or maybe you're just telling yourself it's not what you're meant to do in this life.
Yeah, I do miss playing music, but, in the 15 years that I've played music, I've gotten farther in the 3 years that I've been heavily into paranormal than I ever did in playing music.
Yeah.
So.
Correct, Courtney. Yep. Correct.
My ego. Well, see, here's the thing about my ego. And it's funny. I'm not afraid to admit it. The ego forms, and you learn this in shadow work and you learn this in life coaching, is your ego forms at a young age. A healthy child or a healthy individual, their ego will start forming around 6 to 7 years old. Unless you went through a very traumatic experience. Mm-hmm. That's when your ego forms. I was in foster home for the first time at 6 weeks old.
Oh, wow. So
my ego formed very early. And has it messed my life up? Absolutely. But again, it's one of those things that you learn from and you understand and move on with.
I'm with you there, Courtney. Me too.
Oh, yeah. I think I was in foster home 4 times. Yeah. Yeah, that ego, man. That's what kills people. It's what Oh, absolutely, Courtney.
I totally agree with that. I wouldn't be the person I am if things hadn't happened the way they did.
Oh, absolutely. I swore as a kid. I swore to myself. I swore to everybody. I even told people. I was like, when I turn 18, I'm never talking to my mom again. When I turn 18, I have nothing to say. And here I am. I just turned 37. So I have to say, my mom is my best friend now. I don't know what I'd do without her.
Yeah.
But, that's all things that, I understand that there's a lot of people out there that have reasons that they don't want to talk to somebody. They have their reasons. Mine personally, I got in trouble and I got grounded and abused for the dumbest things as a kid. And now as an adult, I look back and I go, why am I holding a grudge against my mom because I wasn't allowed to have the last cookie or because she said no to get a toy in the store? Like that, a lot of things just seemed like they were petty to me.
Right.
And, it's a trickle-down effect. If you've seen any of the podcasts where I've opened up, and I'm not going to get into it because we only got a couple minutes left.
Right.
But when I started opening up about the relationship that my wife and I have had for the past couple of years, it took me apologizing to my wife for the way I was and the way I treated her when I realized that the reason I was treating her the way I was is because it was everything that I've ever wanted to say to my mom, I was projecting onto my wife.
Right.
So when I realized that I had, if I wanted to keep my marriage and I wanted to stay with my wife, I had to let go of everything with my mom.
Right.
Or else it's just going to keep happening. So it took me apologizing to my wife, realizing that the trigger was actually my mom. So in order to keep that relationship with my wife, I had to work on things with my mom.
Yeah.
And it's made everything between the relationship with my mom and I, and even my wife and I, 100 times better. And that's what shadow work teaches. It teaches you to find that trigger, and you got to dig deep. And sometimes that trigger comes from a past life.
Right. Yeah, I need to do I've done one past life thing, and I need to do another one.
I haven't done one. Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, Courtney, yes. What helped me was this. I think had I not found DeEtte and been able to learn how to do this on my own, because when I found DeEtte, my whole goal was, okay, I'll learn how to do this so I can talk to him myself and be able to hear him. Well, obviously, the spirit world, and maybe a couple months into starting all of this, it's like, this isn't about you. This isn't about your husband. This isn't about you talking to your husband. You are here to help others to be able to see that that death is not death. Yes, they're not here physically, but I probably talk to my husband more now than I did when he was alive. But this is what saved my life. I don't know that I could have survived. You can ask DeEtte. I mean, I was a mess, and my whole goal in this was just to be able to talk to my husband. But Spirit had said, nope, you are going to do this, and you're going to be helping other people, and you're going to, I don't know. I just feel like this is where I need to be, and I have to be able to give others that have lost loved ones hope and make them realize that they're not dying, they're being reborn. They're just being reborn in a different realm. Do I still have bad days? Do I still cry? Yeah. Do I miss him physically being here? Do I miss being able to walk into the house and saying, hey, this is what's going on with my day? Now, if he were still alive and I was doing this, he would think I was stark raving mad, lunatic, crazy, and probably divorce me. But it was crazy because when we knew he was dying, that last week, and I was, you've got to send me signs. It was never a question of, are you serious? He was like, yeah, I'll send you signs. It was not nothing we had ever talked about before he got sick. We never talked about psychics or mediums and all of that. But it was just a given. I said, you send me signs. He sent me signs. And then it was just like, holy crap, because he likes to send signs. Believe me, he likes to send signs. Yeah, you're right. We both just knew that he would be able to. So that's how I got into this, and that's how I survived his passing.
I think just one real quick before we end this. I think what we really need to focus on when it comes to the passing of somebody is the problem is what's the best way I want to word this is we are never prepared for the loss of somebody.
No.
And
no matter
that's
how prepared you are,
makes it hard. Right. And that's what makes it hard.
Yeah.
I think when it comes down to even my wife currently, her dad's having health issues, and we're not really sure what's happening or what's going to go on. But I've been able to get my wife to the point where if something does happen, that she's okay with it. She's going to be okay. We hold on to grudges our whole lives until somebody passes away. And then we're left with all these questions. Did they love me? Are we going to be okay? Especially with the loss of a parent. Those are things that we think of as an adult when we lose a friend, a family member. We just have all these questions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you learn to just put your anger and your differences aside and just love, then those questions wouldn't be there. And it would be so much easier to just get over the death of somebody.
Right. Well, I don't think you ever get over it regardless. And I think part of the we all get so caught up in life. I know for us, it was always like, well, we can fix this tomorrow, or, we can fix it next year, or when the kids are grown, we'll be able to do this.
Right.
And we ran out of tomorrows, we ran out of tomorrows.
I mean, if you think about it, your life, and I quote this author a lot, and I could never, Katie Bryan, something like that. She's an author. She wrote a book. It's called Loving What Is, or Love What Is. And that always stuck with me. It always stuck with me. And she says, you can't change the past.
Right.
The past is the past. Love what it is, because it's gotten you to where you are today. Live and love in every moment, because where your life is right now in this moment, it's never going to get any better than where you are, because tomorrow never comes.
Right.
So all you have is this moment.
Right now.
And that's all you can deal with. If you can't change the past, you can't fix anything, because something's going to happen next week. You can't change what's going to happen next week.
Right.
You just focus on this moment, where you're at. That's all you can do.
Yep.
All right. On that note, I don't know if there's another show coming up. I don't even know our schedule back here.
Well, I can't help you with that, because I have no idea either.
I have my schedule. I don't have Todd's. I don't have the full schedule. But I think, great show today. I hope everybody was easy on you. And I hope everybody enjoyed Lori today filling in for DeEtte.
No, not DeEtte. Deidre.
Deidre. Dang it. Too many.
Well, if I have to fill in for next week, maybe you'll join me next week. Because, I did enjoy this.
See, I told you it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't.
But I do got to go. My mother-in-law is picking up my daughter, and we're a little bit past the time.
Alrighty.
So,
well, thanks everybody, and I hope everybody got the information that they needed.
And I will not be back here running Psychic Hour today. I know people, the fans and comments, they're always the same people, and I love it. I won't be on for her today, but I will see you guys back here Thursday, 7:00 with Tyson's Gift.
Bye, everybody.
And Lori, I hope you have a great week. Everybody else,
you as well.
Have a great day.
Bye.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.